friends, how are you? Sarah Rose here, coming to you live on the Business Accelerator Facebook Live series, where every Wednesday at noon Eastern, I show up to share value, business tips, tricks, strategies, and mindset techniques that help you transform your business from a dream or a side hustle into a lucrative, thriving online business. So welcome. That may have actually cut out on the first couple of seconds there. I'm on a different device today. So just to recap, I'm Sarah Rose. I'm coming to you live from my office here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's a beautiful, hot, muggy summer day. But when you tune into the Business Accelerator Live Facebook series every Wednesday at noon Eastern, I'm here to share valuable tips, information, strategies, mindset tips that help you transform your dream or your side hustle into a lucrative online business. So if you missed the first little part, it cut off there. So now you know you're in the right place. So drop me a hashtag live if you're watching this live. Drop me a hashtag replay if you're watching this on a replay. And drop a newbie, hashtag newbie, if you're new to me and to my world, because I just love knowing where people are coming from. Let me know where you're tuning in from around the world. I know we often have friends from as far as Africa and Europe and Asia tuning in, so I always love to see where you're watching from. Also, I cannot see myself on this device, so please let me know if you can see me and hear me okay. I feel like I'm just talking to a blank screen here, so let me just check and make sure. And then we're going to dive right in. Yep, okay, good. We're going to dive right into the top 3 things that may be keeping you stuck in your life or your business. But before I go on, I need to know where you are in your journey as a fempreneur. So are you, number 1, drop me a number 1 if this is you. Are you somebody who has a dream to become an entrepreneur? You've always felt the call. You know you were meant for more. You want to start your own business, but something's been holding you back. Maybe you have other commitments in your life. Maybe you have a job, something else, children, that you're like, gosh, if only I could switch this or tweak that or have this extra time or have this extra investment, I could start this business and watch it take off and grow. So drop me a 1 if you've got a dream in your heart, you felt the call to become an entrepreneur, but you haven't quite taken those first steps yet. And then drop me a 2 if you already have a side hustle. If you already have maybe a network marketing business that you work with, maybe you're a podcaster, maybe you're a blogger, maybe you're an aspiring coach, maybe you're an event planner and you're having to pivot, and instead of doing live events, you're switching to online events and you're trying to figure out new ways to market that. So give me a 2 if that's you, if you already have a side hustle and you're like, okay, I love it, but it's feeling more like a hobby and I'm ready to monetize this. I'm ready to take this to the next level. And then drop me a 3 if you already have a full-time, full-blown fempreneur business and you're ready to scale it to the next level. Because the information I'm going to share with you today, it applies to anyone, no matter where you are along your journey, but I just want to make sure that I'm conveying the message properly to where you are in yours. So let's see if I've got some comments here yet. Okay, not yet, but I will keep an eye on this to see what comes through. So, number 1 reason why you may be stuck in your life or your business is a lack of focus. So I see so many times this shiny object syndrome. So many things in our world right now are distracting to us, and it's so easy to just go, oh, over here, or oh, over this way, right? So you may be talking to somebody about joining their network marketing program, or you might be thinking about taking this course, or you may be putting together a business plan of how you want to go forward, but then all of a sudden you see somebody else who's doing the same thing or something similar, and then all of a sudden imposter syndrome kicks in, and you're like, oh wait, somebody's already doing what I want to do, or she's already, grown this 5, 6, 7, 8-figure business, and I could never achieve that. Or this company is exactly what I wanted, but now this person is approaching me with this idea, and you get distracted, right? Or then your friends or your family tell you, you know what, that's not who you are. You're always a blah, blah, blah. This is who you're meant to be. You're not meant to go and start this other thing, right? I remember when I was having to go back to work from being a stay-at-home mom when we hit our financial crisis a few years ago. And before that, I had been an interior designer. I had my own interior design company, and it was pretty successful and I loved it, but I'd burned out on the office side of it, on the back side of it, and the marketing side of it. I just went into design and it was just too much to try and bring it all back. And I really had burned out on it. But I remember when I started with my network marketing company, and some of my friends were like, well, that's not what you do. That's not who you are. You're not in health and wellness. You're an interior designer. And they were just incredulous that I could take my life in this different direction. And then when I brought on my coaching business alongside my network marketing business, I had other friends and people close to me say, well, that's not what you do. You're in this. And so, success is not always linear. We have different gifts and experiences that we encounter along our journey, and that just makes us stronger and more valuable to our clients and to our team members and the people that we offer value to, right? So stay on your path, make a decision, and say, okay, this is where I want to go right now. You can always pivot, you can always grow it in different directions as you go, but pick one thing and get really, really great at it, master it before you start taking on all these other things. It's so easy to go, okay, you know what, I'm going to become a coach. I don't know anything about marketing, but I'm going to put myself out there on all these different platforms, and I'm going to start a podcast, and I'm going to write a book, and I'm going to start a blog. Oh, hello, fastest way to burnout, right? It just is so overwhelming, all these different strategies that you think you need to have in place to be successful. So break it down, simplify it to the ridiculous, and just decide what is the next step on your path. Okay, so whether that's starting a new business, invest. I mean, you cannot start a business anywhere that I've ever found in the world for free and be successful with it. So if you're looking at a network marketing company, buy the starter pack. If you're wanting to be a coach, invest in the course. If you're going to become a podcaster, you might need to take some classes, invest in some equipment. If you're going to be a blogger, take a course on blogging, learn WordPress, whatever that next step looks like for you, and you know that you need to do it, just take the next step. And don't use excuses like, I don't have the money, I don't have the time. Guess what? I didn't have the money. I had to sell things around my house in the beginning when I was getting started. I had to borrow some money when I was just getting started. I had to put something on a credit card when I was just getting started. So I had to take out a savings when I was just getting started. And it was really scary. I remember just not being able to sleep at night. It was so terrifying to invest in myself and take that next step. But you know what that next step looks like if you're just getting started on your journey. And if you're already somebody who has a side hustle, this applies to you too, because you might be seeing, oh, well, this person's building it on TikTok, or, maybe I haven't made that much money in my company yet, and so I'm going to start with this other company. Or maybe I'm going to start a podcast or a blog, or it's still the same information applies. And what I recommend is just quit with the shiny object syndrome and just, like I'm saying, make a decision, stick with it, and bring it back to the basics. So what do you need to go back and learn or master before you move on to the next step within your journey, right? So what I recommend to my team and to my clients is to master one or two platforms first. Don't try and spread yourself too thin across all these different platforms. You're just going to run yourself into the ground and get exhausted as a result. So I say start with Facebook, because that's where most everybody is hanging out. And Instagram is my other favorite place where I'm hanging out all the time lately, like having the best time. If you're not following me on Instagram, come over there. I'm getting somewhere around 100 or more organic followers each week. And I'm really, really growing the page over there. And it's a lot of fun, a ton of content and value. So it's at Sarah Rose Global on Instagram if you want to follow me and see what is going on over there. So master one or two platforms first, and then you can move on to like YouTube, Pinterest, maybe writing a blog on WordPress, maybe connecting some of the tech dots and putting together a funnel and running Facebook ads. But it's impossible to know all these things and learn all these things up front when you're trying to learn too many things at a time. And then you just get so distracted and it all just becomes diluted because you're all over the place, right? So is this making sense? Are you guys getting some good notes so far? Is this resonating with you? Drop me some love hearts or your favorite emoji to let me know that this is all making sense. Okay, so for you, if you're looking to scale a business, I would say it's the same thing. What is the next step that you need to take? Is it investing in a high ticket course? Is it learning the tech dots that need to be connected and putting together a funnel and learning how to do Facebook ads. What is the thing that is going to take you from here to there? So get it on paper, get clarity on what is that next step, and then keep that in front of you all the time so you can stay focused. You make a decision, as Napoleon Hill says in Think and Grow Rich, burn all bridges behind you, leaving no possible way of defeat. There is no gray area. There is only black or white. Either you're in or you're not. There's no in between. You're not in this to give it a go. You're not dipping a toe in and easing your way in. You are baby bird flying off the cliff, right? So make that decision, stick with it, and get focused. Get a daily method of operation that you write in your old-fashioned planner. I love my Law of Attraction one. And write it in your planner. If it doesn't go in my planner, it doesn't get done. So you can stay organized and stay focused when you have your days planned out. I like to sit down on a Sunday and plan my week out in advance so I know exactly where I need to be, where I need to show up every single day. And then I can also factor in my playtime with Sophie so that I have that time freedom and the flexibility to be with her, which is perfect for avoiding burnout. Okay, so that is number one, is just get super focused, bring it back to the basics, figure out what is the next step that you need to take to move forward, whether you're starting or scaling your business, and get rid of any distractions. If you're working at home, your spouse is at home, your children are at home with this whole COVID mess, you're gonna have to set some boundaries. And this was really hard for me in the beginning because my husband kept coming in to tell me what was going on in the news or the weather or how bad the mosquitoes were. And my daughter was coming in asking for snacks or interrupting my lives or my coaching trainings or with my team. And I just was losing my mind. I really was losing my mind. And there were a few times when I did snap at them and I was like, get out. Like, this is my space. This is my time. I've got to get this work done. So now they understand. We've had the conversations. And you've got to set some boundaries. But whatever you do, stay focused. Stay in your lane. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. You do you. Okay, that's number one. Number two is consistency. So once you've done that thing, that next step that you need to take to start or scale your business, now you want to get a level of consistency where you are showing up every single day on social media with a message that is clear to your audience, so that when they come to your page, they know you have a business. And I feel like I harp on this like pretty much every week about cleaning up your Facebook feed, cleaning up your Instagram, and making it professional. Asking yourself, would I buy from me? If it was the first time I was coming to my page, would I know that I had a business, and would I buy from me? So what I see so much of the time is business owners, business women posting what they want to post about. So they're like, oh, I want to post about my dog or my child or my upcoming trip or my Disney trip or this. And this is what I want to post about. I highly suggest that you flip the switch on that and think, what does your audience want you to post about? Because when you start showing up for them, solving their problem, making it all about them and what's in it for them when they work with you, that is going to build the like, know, and trust factor. That's when people are going to start showing up, Attraction Marketing 101, in your inbox asking how they can work with you. So when you just post all about your gardening or your road trip or whatever, people are going to be like, oh, you might get some likes and people might be like, oh, that's nice. And don't get me wrong, every now and then you do want to post about your lifestyle and what you're doing behind the scenes and bring people into your world because that makes you relatable. I'm not saying don't ever post anything personal. I'm just saying make sure that you're always tying back to your business and that people know you have a business. I do audits of my clients and my team. Sometimes I'll go on their Facebook feed and just go, okay, I want to see what's going on and how things are coming together. And a lot of times I can see there who is coachable and who's not, who has taken the tips that I've trained them on and actually done something with it and built a business and are getting results, and others who are still continuing to do the same thing expecting a different result, but there is no growth. And so that is something that's holding you back potentially, is are you posting consistently about your business in a non-salesy way? That's the other thing. The more we sell, the more we repel. So if you're like, buy my product, join my team, buy my offer all the time, people are going to run from that because they're not on social media to buy. They're there to be educated, empowered, entertained, and engaging. So those are the things that you want to be posting about and consistently. Okay, so number one thing that could be holding you back is lack of focus. Number two is a lack of consistency. And so I've just given you some really great tips there for how to show up and be more consistent. But also write that into your planner where you have every single day your DMO, your daily method of operation, where and how you're showing up on your platforms, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Maybe you're growing several platforms as you begin to scale. Where and how do you show up? What is your content going to be for that time? And make sure that you have a consistent game plan that you're focused on showing up consistently every day. Because if you're not, people are going to forget about you. And the number one thing that I think is lacking in the world right now is stability. There is no sense of certainty in the world. And so that is the one thing that everyone is craving is consistency, certainty, stability. And so when they see you continuing to show up and be the positive light in the world, and yeah, if you're having a crap day, you can share about that. That's vulnerability, right? So when I say positive, it doesn't have to always be like rah-rah, like cheerleader, but show up to shine your light and to share your gift with the world in a way that is impactful and that is making a difference and that does tie back to your business. So maybe if you're posting about gardening or your road trip or whatever all the time, and that's a way to empower people to show, I've got this time freedom and I've got this lifestyle because I've done this. That's a great way to showcase your lifestyles because you've tied it back to, I'm so grateful that I found this way to make an impact and also find this time freedom. Does that make sense? So when you are sharing your behind the scenes and your lifestyle, always make sure that you find a way to tie it back. And from time to time, you can throw in a great call to action of letting people know where and how they can reach out to you, because otherwise they don't know the next step to take. They're like, oh wow, I just love her stuff. But that does not build your bank account, right? Okay, so moving on. Let's recap so far. Number one thing that could be holding you back in your life or your business is lack of focus, shiny object syndrome. Number two thing that could be holding you back in your life or business is lack of consistency. And that is the number one thing that I see so often is my team, my clients are like, I just need to be more consistent. And the only thing I can say about that is just be more consistent. Get yourself the old-fashioned planner, get an accountability buddy, somebody that you have to show up for each other. Join a group program. That's a great way to stay absolutely consistent and accountable because you have other people in the same space that are growing at the same rate that you are. And so you all are in this journey together. And so you are holding each other accountable. So those are 3 ways that you can do. Also a mastermind. If you're not already in a mastermind, you could create one. I wish I'd known about this so long ago. And I could do a whole live about that. Maybe I'll do that next week. But other women who are in your industry, but maybe they have different gifts than you do. So for example, in mine, it's a small one, but I'm the business coach. We have a spirituality coach, and we have a mindset coach. And so we all come and, we share what we're working on. We share what questions we have. How can we get better? How should I tweak this? And then we come to offer support and advice to the others as well. So there's several different ways that you can hold yourself accountable to stay consistent. But if this is something you struggle with, man, get off the struggle bus and just get consistent. It's maybe easier said than done, but with time and practice, you will get better. Okay, number 3 is lack of confidence. And this is one that I see all the time as well. A lack of confidence in women, whether you're just getting started to say, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I have the strength. What if I fail? What if I succeed? Anyone here have a giant fear of success? It is a thing. My whole life I feared being successful as much as I feared failure, which is so weird to say, right? Most everybody just fears failure. So fear is a twin to confidence. It's a fraternal twin to confidence. It's like failure and success, right? You can't have one without the other. You can't have confidence until you've overcome fear. So whatever you're fearing, you've got to find a way to overcome it. Look the tiger in the eye and do the thing anyway, whether it's buying that first box of products, whether it's signing up for that course, whatever the thing is, booking in a call with a mentor, whatever that thing is, you've got to just do it. For me, it was tech. I did not understand technology. It scared the crap out of me. It terrified me. I was like, there is no way I can learn this. What if I break the internet? What if I break WordPress? What if I break landing pages? Like, I just couldn't wrap my head around it, and it terrified me. But then I went, you know what? If I don't get on board with the modern marketing strategies, I'm going to get left behind because this is the only way forward. There is no such thing as job security anymore. And so many bricks and mortars are closing down or restructuring and going bankrupt and selling out. And it's the saddest thing. But this is the writing is on the wall, and it has been for some time, that modern marketing online systems are the only way forward. And so if you don't have those systems in place, how can you have confidence? It's easy to look at it and go, okay, well, I can get this started, but I really just don't know where I need to go or what that next step is or what that looks like. Or, you know, what brought me here might not get me there in my business. And so I don't know how to not do things this way anymore. Maybe you're in network marketing and you still are friending people and sending out messages. Maybe that's what you've been taught to do, but you're getting crickets and nobody's coming back and people are blocking you and it just feels icky. And that's not what I teach. In fact, I don't ever send out friend requests anymore. People send me the friend requests and they come to my inbox. And so it's a much more fun way to run a business with attraction marketing, being the hunted as opposed to being the hunter. So that builds your confidence when you have the strategies and the tips and the techniques and the mindset in place, that you can show up consistently, you can show up focused, and it's not hard work, it's fun because you're working in your creative zone of genius and just creating and attracting the world to you, your ideal client, your ideal team member, your ideal customer into your world. And that confidence will come, but you do have to have strategies and systems and tools in place that you are working consistently and with focus. So that is my training for today, and I'd love to know your top takeaway. So what is the number one thing that's holding you back? Drop me a 1, 2, or 3 if you are thinking of starting a business, if you haven't yet started. 2, if you've got a side hustle, you're looking to start monetizing it. And number 3, if you've got a full-time fempreneur business that you're looking to scale to the next level. And then also drop me your favorite reason of what's been holding you back. Your reason, whether it's focus, drop me a focus, whether it's consistency, drop me consistency, or if it's confidence, drop me a confidence, because I'd love to know more about how we can lift you up and take you from where you are to where you want to go. So I can't wait to see the comments after this. I'll be hanging around to respond to everyone. Any questions you have, feel free to drop in the comments or get into my inbox. I'm always hanging out over there and happy to answer any questions you have. And also, I don't know if you saw or if you know, or if you're new to me, you might not know, but the doors to my online business startup academy have just opened over the last couple of weeks. I do have a few places left. There are only 25 slots, so the doors will close on that as soon as those spaces have filled up. And you don't want to miss being a part of it, because it's some really critical information that you need to have the foundations in your business in place to transform from where you are now into a lucrative online business. So thank you for your time today. If this is something you'd like to explore further, just drop a me in the comments, more info please, and I will reach out to you with some more information and to learn more about what you're working on and how what I have to offer may help. So again, thank you for your time, and I'll see you right back here next Wednesday at noon Eastern on the Business Accelerator. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of your day. Bye.